USDC, and this I bring up this chart because it's a big indicator on like liquidity coming into the space. As you can see here, hold on, let me hide this here. Okay, as you can see here, the higher the market cap is for USDC, the higher the market cap is for crypto, because people, especially institutions or funds, they will have USDC just sitting on the sidelines as they're waiting to deploy into crypto. Basically, the more this goes down, it shows that, hey, people aren't buying stablecoins. If people aren't buying stablecoins, they're not deploying it into the market. So that is my.
Yeah, so keep
Oh, you want to put it back up?
if you want to keep that chart up, yeah. So I was gonna ask you guys, how much do you think crypto is basically on the downturn right now? How much do you think that has to do with fixed income and the fact that you can get 5.5% risk free? Um, and so, do you think that there's a correlation in that the capital that's going into the bond market, for example, whether it's corporate bonds or treasury bonds from the U.S., how much do you think that has to do with liquidity being pulled out of crypto right now?
I think it has a lot to do with it. It's like I pulled this up when you said that. So this is DeFi Llama. It basically shows the total value locked in DeFi. So this was like before FTX and Terra Luna. We saw this huge drop off because even though the problem was with centralized exchanges, people pull out of DeFi, right? And DeFi is where you go to get like a yield, kind of like you do in the centralized finance space. Instead of buying a bond, you can stake, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see there's a lot of money out of DeFi, and it's kind of been trending downward since about April. So yeah, I think it has a lot to do with that, like versus risking some protocol getting hacked. Even though there are blue chip protocols, it kind of gets lumped up into one category. Risking something getting hacked or something going wrong, people would much rather get a yield from a bond that's trusted, that's not going to get hacked, and things like that. So I think it has a lot to do with things. Yeah, the yields are higher here, but the risk is also higher too.
Way
And with
higher,
all the
yeah.
hacks that's been happening, people's
Yeah.
appetite for risk has kind of, been dying off a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I also think it has a ton to do with that. That's why I asked. That on top of obviously there's less leverage in the system. Obviously, because capital is just tighter, it's more expensive. So you're going to have less leverage as well. And so that's why we've been seeing the crypto market as a whole kind of suppressed, because a lot of those bull runs, what happens is, and I don't know the exact numbers on this, but a huge percentage of it is bought on leverage. So when leverage dies down, obviously prices are going to chop to the side for a good while. And yeah, man, the yield curve is still inverted too. I don't know if you can pull up a chart of the
Yeah,
yield
yeah.
curve. Yeah, and I'll just say this as you're pulling it up. So yeah, when you're talking about like smart money or whatnot, um, if someone, let me put it like this for the people watching, if you're able to generate a 5% yield by holding a bond for 1 month, so you're talking about 1 month paper, right? um, if you're able to generate a 5% yield and there's no risk, and you have the opportunity to also generate 18% conservatively APY uh, on a some type of yield farming whatnot.
And
Now,
one thing, actually, JT, that's a great point. I
go
just
ahead,
want
go.
to say this one thing and let you finish. Another reason why it's way less risky is because, like, getting a yield on a treasury bond, it's like taking a USDC and staking it, and you're
Yeah,
not exposed to any impermanent loss risk. You're not going to get even. It's harder to get a 5% yield or a high yield on just stable coins alone in DeFi. Most of the high yields that you're getting is on assets where there's risk involved.
100%, 100%. And now that's just a choice you make, right? So if you have a good understanding of that project or how that particular system works, in which you have your capital staked in or whatnot, go ahead and take that risk. But we're talking about a lot of TradFi money here, and if you got traditional guys with millions of dollars, 5.5% for holding something for a month is extremely fantastic. By the way,
Yeah.